Hey guys, welcome to another video of RevShare conversions. My name is Steve, coming back to you from China in Beijing. Now, I know it's been a long time. It's probably been like over 10 weeks since my last video, but I mean, to be honest, it's just been crazy since I've come over here, and just the whole settling down process and just trying to get things up and running. I did try and make a video quite a while back, but then I had issues with the connection because YouTube is banned in China, so I had to use a VPN, but it kept cutting out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this one works well. And today is a very, very special day, so just sit back and we'll go through all this together because this is going to be amazing. Now, from the last video that I made, this was actually, I'd only made week 2 of the updates for my paying ads, and originally I first started off with $100 deposit. And what I was essentially doing was gradually building this up because I wanted to start sooner rather than later, okay, up until this point. So what I was doing, I was gradually putting in 100% of the earnings that I was earning back from. And then over a certain process, I was managing to put down maybe buy an ad pack per day, which is a really good level to be at because you want to stay active, and it also helps you to build up your advertising credits as well, which is important because it depending on what you're promoting and what you're going for. You know, the more credits you're building up, the more potential business that you're going to have sooner rather than later. And I actually find that my paying ads customers are relatively quite responsive. Some of the referrals I've been given, like when I've been tracking, they're often quite active as well, and they'll follow me on Facebook. So it's definitely something that you want to take advantage of in terms of the advertising as well as the earnings as well. Now, what I want to go through is before I was earning very, very little, like $100 probably won't get you much anyway. You really need to work on compounding your earnings and build this up to a level. Now, what I'm going to show you here, just where I'm at the moment, okay? I've currently got, as you can see at the top here, I've got $3.73 on my current balance. So this was $100 just over 10 weeks ago, or maybe 11 weeks ago since I made the first video of making my first deposit. Now, if we just have a look here, ad pack earnings. So from that $100, I've currently made worth over $318. Which is I think that's quite impressive because the daily earnings are averaging probably around somewhere about probably 1.8% to 2%, and I think it goes up to about 2.5%, which is really, really good because it's all based on sales, depending on your performance. So as we can currently see here, we've got $318 worth of ad pack earnings, and then as you go back before, I've currently got 55 active ad packs. So this is why it was important to start sooner rather than later, because I've kind of given myself a step ahead when those PayPal funds were released. Now today is a very, very special day, and I was so happy to see this. If we just go over, we can read at the top here, PayPal repurchase balance is ready for you to use. Go to your balance transfer under Finance tab. Transfer the whole PayPal repurchase balance to your preferred payment processor and use it for making any new purchases. Please note that you are only allowed the whole PayPal repurchase balance to be transferred to your one designated payment processor and not to multiple payment processors. So basically what that's saying is if you've already funded your MyPayingAds account and you've maybe used Pazer and you've used Bitcoin, you can only designate it to one payment processor. So for me, you know, if you've been following my previous videos, you know I'm really ramped up about Bitcoin. So all of my funds will be going into my Bitcoin account. Now, if you've got Pazer, then you would designate it to your Pazer account. So you're transferring your PayPal funds over to Pazer, and then you'll be able to use those funds, okay? We did have to wait quite a while because they originally said it was maybe going to be the 5th of July that the funds would be returned, and then there was a transition period where they had to return it to the banks and get it all out from PayPal So it was all in the processes. And then Uday made a recent update on a Google Hangout, which was very informative. And he was basically saying that there's been no issues whatsoever in terms of the steadiness and the growth of the program, which is amazing, and this is all before the funds were frozen as well. So we've got nothing to worry about, and because of the members, because of how active people are, and we stay true to ourselves, and we really, put money back in and trust into the program. It's helped us kickstart this RevShare to a really high level, and there's probably only maybe 3 or 4 maximum RevShares that are worth getting into, to be honest. Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily go into other RevShares at this point. I mean, MyPayingAds is a solid program. I really hope that it's around for the next 5 to 10 years. I know Uday's got big plans for this. So it's very, very promising. And if you're looking for a steady RevShare, and a steady earnings from programs, then this is something you definitely want to get involved in. And particularly if you're using Bitcoin, and if you're learning how to make money with Bitcoin, MyPayingAds is going to be essential. And you're more than welcome to join my team. You're more than welcome to add me on Facebook, and you're more than welcome to discuss anything that involves MyPayingAds or Bitcoin itself. I'm more than happy to go through it with you. Now, what I'm going to go through is just quickly on the Facebook group here. I'm going to read out the quick update from Uday, which was only 3 hours ago. And this was actually quite a while ago. I went to the gym probably just after around lunchtime in China. And I read the information just before I left. So I was anxious to get back. I was like, come on. And then I came back and then read this. And then they managed to... a lot of people jumped in it so quickly, and then there was a minor issue, but then they solved that. So I thought I'd wait a few more hours, and then I can just go through it. So hopefully there won't be any more problems, and we'll go through this together. So what I'm going to be using is my PayPal funds, and then I'm going to put that into my payment processor, and then I'm going to purchase the ad packs with it. Now, for those of you who know how much of my funds are in there, I was a very big kind of crazy depositor at that time. I really believed in my Paying Ads, and I put in $6,300, which is just crazy. I think even my mind now, compared to all the RevShares and all the problems in the past with other RevShare programs, I think I'm insane to do that. But luck is on my side, and things are going to look very, very promising for the future for myself and for my Paying Ads. Now, with this update here, basically he announced that the wait is fully over and the PayPal repurchase balance is ready for us to use. And now he's given some instructions which we'll go through in a moment. And he said, please note that you're only allowed the whole PayPal repurchase balance to be transferred to your only one designated payment processor, like we discussed before. And then there's this thing about referral commissions that weren't being offered on these current purchases, and there's been a few comments where people have made some issues about, this is so unfair and stuff like that. But to be honest, referral commissions are somewhat of a bonus. It's not something you're guaranteed. You're not really putting everything into it to just get a referral commission. I mean, there's some high leaders that enjoy those commissions because they deserve it. They work really hard for it as well. But some people are just really fixated on referral commissions, and it shouldn't necessarily be based on that, because as a marketer we grow, although we focus on making money online, it's not necessarily all about the money itself. And as a company as a whole, we need to appreciate how hard Uday and the whole company itself have worked to put this together and to keep it together, to be honest, because he could have had the opportunity to shut this down many months ago, and then we wouldn't have had a platform to use that we can use for advertising, and then we wouldn't have also had a platform where we can start making money from. So I think you have to really appreciate that the decisions that they make are crucial to the business itself and crucial to how you perform as a marketer online as well. And you shouldn't necessarily be complaining about frozen commissions or frozen funds or whatever the case is. You know, that happened a long time ago. This was many months ago. And surely you've moved on from that by now, and you should be using those, using the whole startup, the new kickstart for MyPaying Ads to refresh and just to drive yourself forward and just build up from where you were before. You know, everyone has to do it. Everyone's in the same position. So there's no point complaining about it. You know, just be happy that MyPaying Ads is still here. So, you know, whether you're concerned about commissions or anything like that before, so what? You know, just think of it as just, you know, just move yourself forward and keep driving forward, because eventually we'll get those commissions again from your referrals and your downline. I don't necessarily have a huge team because I was working on other projects in the past. But I'm really hoping that this year I can really strive to put some more people into MyPaying Ads. Although MyPaying Ads has a huge member base, but this is why it's so good to take advantage of its advertising platform, because there's thousands and thousands of members. You know, those people are always going to see in those business opportunities that you're offering to the others, and we're all like-minded marketers, right? We all want to make money online. Okay, so we take advantage of the advertising opportunities that are offered to us. And thankfully, MyPaying Ads gives us that. Okay. Now, just down here, we've got. Okay, so that's based on the referral commissions. So please note that only when the program is healthy in terms of finances, we can smoothly deliver the revenue sharing rewards that is being distributed in the program. Okay, something like that. So we sincerely hope that you understood our decision and keep your continued support to MPA. Okay, and many people, I mean, loads of people put in tickets and stuff like that, but you know, those will get fined out. This is literally just a major change. You know, there's probably very few companies that have bounced back from a PayPal freezing the accounts. You know, and there's other marketers out there, just people who make products. They sell courses and things like that, and I see it on Facebook nearly every week. At least one person, PayPal just freeze their account for no reason. You know, they just turn them around and say, "Oh, by the way, you know, we've gone through some things, and then we've just frozen your account." And you're like, "What? Why are you doing this? This is crazy." But this is why I love Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is kind of like your processor. You know, it's not run by governments, it's not run by companies as such. You know, although you have certain companies and businesses that manage wallets and stuff like that, but in the majority of cases, your Bitcoin is pretty much yours. It's not held by anyone else, so you can't just have an account frozen just like that. So this is why I strive for Bitcoin. There's a lot of opportunities and there's a lot of advantages to using Bitcoin. And especially with MyPaying Ads, because there's 0% fees. So if you use Payzer, Solid Trust Pay, you know, I think there's Perfect Pay as well. If you use those payment processors, you will be paying certain fees, transaction fees, withdrawal fees, and stuff like that. But I mean, that's just the way it is. That's how a lot of businesses run. But with PayPal, you've got 0% fees, or there might be a minimal fee. You know, if you've got a Bitcoin debit card, which is what I have, and I use those transactions for taking out money from China as well. So I can earn my earnings with programs, and I can take my Bitcoin, go to an ATM, a Chinese ATM, and just take out the Chinese currency. And I'm well happy with that, you know, so I love Bitcoin. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go back to over here, okay, and hopefully it hasn't logged me out. So I'm just going to refresh this quickly. A little bit slow because the connection, I've currently got my VPN on because I need to keep things running, like especially with Facebook. I need a VPN which is allow me to get away from blocked websites, so things like YouTube, Facebook, those are currently blocked in China, which is a real pain. So I'm having to use a service that will help me allow to get onto other websites. So sometimes things are a little bit slow, but it's fine. You know, it's just a small block. It's just a small wall, and I can get over that just using that service. So you know, it's fine. Just very minimal. Okay, so repurchase balance, which is from my PayPal account. You can see here $6,300. Now my main processor that I'm using, like I said before, is my Bitcoin. So you see there's no more currencies being used in here. And my Bitcoin is only $3.78 because it's only building up from my $100 that I was using a few months ago when I first started. Okay, so we've currently got $318 worth of ad pack earnings, sorry. So what we're going to do here, we're going to say your PayPal repurchase balance is ready for you to use. Go to your balance transfer under the finance tab. So over to your left here, we're going to click finance, and then down here balance transfer. Okay, and then hopefully that doesn't take too long. Okay, awesome. So right, so from PayPal repurchase balance, which is where my $6,300 is. It's so exciting because I just love to see that money just right in front of me. Okay, so from payment processor, we've got PayPal repurchase balance, and now this to payment processor, this will be your preferred payment processor. So right here we've got Payzer, Solid Trust Pay, Perfect Money, Coin Payments, and To Pay For You. That's the one I forgot before, but I've never used it. Coin Payments is what I'm going for because this is where my Bitcoin is, okay? And it's going to go into my repurchase balance. So the transfer amount, we're advised to transfer the entire amount, I believe. It's somewhere around here. Okay, that is probably on the Facebook update. But what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to transfer the whole amount. Okay, so we've got 6,300 here. Okay, so I'm just going to put in, I won't use the commas or anything like that. I'm just going to literally put 6,300, and it's going to come just up along here. Okay, so $6,300, and then I'm going to agree to that transfer. Perfect. Balance transferred successfully. Now this is going to get exciting. And it's going to be a lot of work for me as well, because originally when I was paying for ad packs, when you're paying your ad packs, you've got 10 ads. Okay, so you build 10 ads and then you select your ads to each one. And I like to diversify. So rather than just putting one banner and putting loads of credits towards it, if you put 10 banners and then build your credits towards that, your impressions and your click rates will improve because they're getting used more and more on a daily basis, because the way they advertise is kind of based on rotation. Okay, and if they've set it on a rotator. So if you've got one banner, if you imagine you've got one advertisement and you've got everyone else advertising, your banner's not going to get seen as much. But then when you've got 10 ads, you know, you've got chances of those getting seen more and clicked on a lot more as well. But MyPayingAds, they've put in some new ways of getting your click rates improved as well. So such as when you go to buy an ad pack, what you can do is that you can, when you purchase an ad pack, you click on free ads before you make the transaction. So that is actually a good way to use to improve the click rates. But there are some downfalls to that as well, is that people just have to click on it to move on. So there's not necessarily an interest to look at your ad. But there is another positive to it, is that when you click on the ad, it opens up in a new tab, and there's no timer or anything like that. So if they click on it and they don't close it down, it gives them an opportunity. So once they've clicked on that tab, it's kind of, you know, full screen of what your offer is. So it's kind of in their face. So there's some benefits and there's not some benefits to it. But I mean, it's just because there's so many people, they need to improve the effectiveness of their advertising. And this is one way that they're doing it. So to be honest, it's it's not really a major issue, but there's just downfalls and there's positive sides to it as well. Okay, so right now we've got everything transferred. Okay, so here's the exciting bit: purchase the ad packs. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, and now, like, you can see some of my banners. I'm trying to test some new things out, and like you can see here, I've got 2 banners here. These are what I purchased before I made a first deposit with Bitcoin, and originally these 468 times 60 banners, they don't necessarily perform too well. So the 125 banners actually improve a lot better in my experience. So you see all these banners along here, these get a lot more click-through rates as opposed to these ones. And then, like I said before, when you make a transaction, you also get the 125 banners on the top first as well, so they're more likely to get clicked on. So what I would do, if you don't have any advertisements set up yet, what you want to do is set up 125 here, and then rather than just keep buying ad pack, set up one here, and then another, and then another, and then fulfill your 10 from there. Okay, so after this, what we want to do, because I've already got one here, I mean, this will probably take me a long time, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to balance these out eventually with the ad pack earnings as they go along. So I'm just going to use one purchase one now, because it would just take me such a long time to do this otherwise. Okay, now what I want to do, I've got 55 packs here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to purchase. Okay, like I said here, so now we've got the banners. So as I said before, we've got these 125 banners on the top. Okay, so whenever you're putting your banners, try to do the 125s first and test to see how those go. I've never tested out these large ones here, but you can purchase the additional advertising to test it if you want. You can also do login ads and stuff like that, all on a rotational basis. So they're definitely worth testing, because some offers you might be in businesses and companies that you haven't seen banners for yet, and that is a perfect thing to test out, because you can get a lot of referrals by advertising stuff that other people are not involved in, or where it's not advertised as much. So I'm with a company or a business or a Bitcoin faucet, which is basically a way of earning free Bitcoin, and I'm advertising this in multiple different ways, and I've got over 220 referrals. I think it's nearly 230 or something like that now. It's very close to a high number, just from advertising on RevShare sites. And because no one else is doing that, I'm taking advantage of that as well. So you need to think about how you can take advantage of the advertising, rather than just simply advertising another RevShare that thousands and thousands of other people might already be advertising. So try and think outside the box, and then just kind of go from there really, and just take advantage of it. So I'm just going to click on these very quickly. I do apologize for the guys who've kind of wasting your clicks on here, but it's just just the way it is, you know, not necessarily of any interest to me. So I've clicked on those 3. I'm going to come back and now I can purchase the ad pack. So right here, my repurchase has now been transferred to coin payments. Now my earning balance is already from the compounding of earnings. Okay, so as I've been compounding, it's then been going into my earning balance. Okay, so right now I can use the full amount to my repurchase, but I can't just purchase everything in one go, because the levels are all different. Okay, so for the first level, which is where I'm at the moment, I've currently purchased 55. So you can see here, the maximum you can purchase for this first plan 1 is 100. Okay, so I've got 55 here, so I can go with 45. So I need to go to my repurchase balance. Okay, yeah, it's 0 because the pays are here. So if I go to coin payments, and now what I want to do is select 45. Okay, and the amount is $225, which is easily covered. So agree to the terms and conditions and then pay now. It's good times, man. It's so exciting just to see this work. Okay, great. So that's done. Yeah, okay, that's purchased successfully. Great. So I'm going to go back to purchase ad pack. Now this one is running, which is fine. So I'm going to select the next one. And I've got, okay, yeah. So basically what happens when you complete the first plan, then it disappears, which is great because it just makes things a bit easier to keep your eyes on. Okay, just ignore the Chinese translation. Okay, yeah. So this one now is this ad pack plan 2 is now $10 per ad pack. Okay, so your earnings will be a lot different on this one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to purchase 100 of these, which is $1,000, right? So again, I need to click on these 3 banners. One's done. It should be done very quickly. Again, I'm sorry for wasting your advertising, guys, but it's not of any interest to me. Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to purchase 100 ad pack plan 2s. Okay, and the cost of these are $10. So what I'm going to do now is go to my repurchase balance and then again select coin payments. So my balance is now 6,075. It's just money I just love hearing. Okay, so 100. Total cost $1,000. Again, 0% fees, which is perfect. So again, this is why I love Bitcoin. Okay. Agree to the terms and conditions. Just make sure everything is correct. Coin payments, yeah. Okay, pay now. It's taking a bit of time. Okay, brilliant. Ad packs have been purchased successfully. Now we'll go back. What I'll do is use the next one. And then again, so we've got plan 3 now, $25, 0 out of 100. So we'll just go to purchase. Again, 3 banners. 1, 2, 3. One of those might have been my banners. We will see. Okay, awesome. Right, so ad pack 3. Each ad pack is $25. So now things are getting a bit more costly. But eventually, you probably won't have the fees that I have, the funds that I have for this. But as you keep compounding your earnings, things just build up daily quite quickly. So you noticed before when I started off on my previous videos, I only started off with $100. And then a few weeks after that, I was getting very close to buying an ad pack per day. And then eventually I got to that stage that every day I was buying an ad pack. And now I'm at this stage, so I'm probably be buying multiple ad packs per day. So my compounding becomes faster and faster and faster. So honestly, have full faith in this. As soon as you make your deposit, don't try and take money out as and when you can, just small payments, because MyPayingAds is going to be around for a very, very long time. So if you value the business long term and you value yourself as well, then what I would consider doing, because MyPayingAds is a slower RevShare, what you should consider doing is compounding those earnings until you get to a certain goal in mind. Maybe you've got $25 per day, $50 per day, I might start taking some money out when I'm earning $50 per day just for a little while, and then I might go into a stage of compounding again. until I can get to $100, and then max things out until $200 per day, which is my end goal with my paying ads. But it's a huge task to reach. I think the full earnings for $200 per day, your ad pack earnings will be about $60,000, which sounds crazy. But as you're compounding your earnings, eventually things get bigger and bigger, and they stack very quickly as well. So just have full faith. Whenever you've got some extra money to put aside, don't start risking things with certain dodgy programs and then losing that money. If you've got a stable business, such as MyPayingAds, Ads, you might as well start gradually putting some money in. Or if you've got a job, just start putting some money in each and every month just to build that. And then you can use those advertising credits to build yourself. And what I mean by that is, as a marketer, we always like to work on building our own reputation as an online marketer, right? So that's something you can also work on, or you can use it to buy new courses and just invest in yourself, invest in knowledge and everything like that. That's going to help you to become a better marketer, and also to help you to achieve to the level that you want to be at, okay? And like I said, you kind of don't necessarily want too big goals. You don't necessarily want to say, I want to go for $100 and stuff like that. Like I said, I probably won't long it out too long. I'll probably compound enough till I've got $50 a day, get some of that money back, and then compound again, and then get to the next stage as I progress throughout there. So that's kind of my idea. That's kind of something that works for me whilst being here in China as well. So that's kind of the route that I'm going down towards. Now, what we're going through, we've got plan 3, okay? So just rambled on a little bit, so we'll try and move on. $25. So again, we're going to use the repurchase balance, coin payments, maximum is 100. Total cost, $2,500. Now things get a bit more expensive, but then they also become, like your earnings obviously increase per day, per hour as well, which is more importantly. So always work on building your ad packs as soon as possible, okay? Because you want to get to the stage where I'm currently going to be at. So if I just purchase the last lot of ad packs, I'm going to just come down here and I'll choose the next one. Just take a little while. And now here, $50 ad packs, okay? This is going to be unlimited, right? So this is why it's so important to start compounding your earnings. Now from here, I've got, where are we? So 100, 100, 100, okay, which is fine. And now we're on to the very last one, which are our $50 ad packs. Okay, this is the stage we want to be at. And this is where it gets really exciting. So we're going to purchase here. What I'll probably need is, don't want to turn this off, that's a bit crazy. I'll just type in cal, get my calculator out. Things are a little bit slow. Hopefully my VPN doesn't cut off. I mean, it does that sometimes, which is annoying. Okay, there's one there. Wait for the second one. Okay, great. And now, final one. Okay, cool. So those are the 3. I mean, it's a little bit of a pain, but at the same time, it's just you just got to think of the benefits of the click rates that the company are doing anyway. So it's just a minor thing, And because I'm doing this purchasing, I'm having to do it a few more times. But when you're doing this kind of once a day and stuff, it really doesn't mean too much at all. So what we've got left, we have $2,575 left. Now these are $50, so my maths is terrible, so I'm going to have to do this. Let me try and work this out. So we have 2,575, and I'm going to divide this by 50, which is 51 ad packs. That's quite interesting because I tried to do some maths before, and that wasn't anywhere near that. So I'm quite impressed with that, and maybe I can buy some more. So that's good. I'm quite happy with that. So again, I'm going to go to repurchase, coin payments, and then 2,550, which meets my requirement. Perfect. Agree to the terms and conditions, and then pay now. Boom. Ad pack has been purchased successfully. Now, what I want to go to is my overview here. Awesome. Okay, so my repurchase balance, I've got $25 left, which isn't really a major issue at all. If all the earnings go into the earning balance, that's fine. I can manage that, no problem. But then when some of the ad packs start to expire, eventually I can then start using my repurchase balance from there. So although I've got $25 sitting there and I can't do anything with it now, hopefully things shift around so that I can manage it and start to use those funds as soon as possible. But if not, it really doesn't matter because it's going to help. I've basically got $25 sitting there for my next repurchase on ad packs as well. So to be honest, there's very little I can do about that. So I mean, we're here again. So basically, I've got $318. I've now got 351 active ad packs, which is very, very exciting. It's a small journey, but it's definitely going to be something really, really big as we go along from here. So, I mean, usually they work on an hourly basis. I mean, right now in China it's 7:35 p.m. So what I'm going to do is 25th of July on here on Monday. So what I'm going to do is I will try my best. I won't make you guys wait another 10 weeks, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to try my best to give you guys another update. Maybe I can try this tomorrow. Maybe I'll try this tomorrow or next week. We'll see how things go because I am very busy these days. So what I'll try and do, I'll try and give you guys an update as soon as possible with those earnings, and you can see the real potential. If you've got those kind of funds that you can deposit, this is something that you definitely want to put money into. It's really going to help to skyrocket your business at the same time, and you're also going to really value a business, a RevShare, long-term RevShare business that is steady for many years to come. So I'm really looking forward to this. I've just put my money in. You've seen how much money I've had to put in, $6,300. I've already had ad packs before that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how things progress and eventually seeing how things really help to change my life with my paying ads. So until next time, guys, just feel free to add me on Facebook, send me a message, and then we'll go from there and I'll give you another update soon.